The Eagles have buyer's remorse, keeping Wentz over Foles.
See, I hate when people do this.
Who, Brett Favre?
Like, no. It's like you for asking me the question. So it's like asking you, which one of your children do you love more?
I do have an answer. Biscuit, MJ's first, Maraca second. You want to keep going? I got 4. I rank them.
I hate you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Too much.
Most parents wouldn't rank their children. Say, I got love for Nick Foles. I got love for Carson Wentz. The Eagles don't have buyer's remorse. They don't have buyer's remorse because they made the right decision. And they made the right decision at the time. Carson Wentz, what was he, 11-2 that year, 2017? On pace for an MVP season. Plus, he's young. Plus, he's on his rookie deal. Yeah. He gets hurt. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen after that injury. If you're an Eagles fan, you're thinking, even if Wentz would have stayed healthy, we still would have won the Super Bowl. Nick Foles comes in, has one of the greatest runs we've ever seen. Now, let me talk about my guy, Nick Foles. Again, love Nick Foles. My dude, he put me in his house when I got traded from the Browns to the Eagles. I know I'm biased. I'm going to speak to y'all like I'm biased.
We hear it.
I got love for Nick Foles, but let's be real. For whatever reason, Nick Foles is incredible in relief. But he's not great as a starter. 2013, I'm playing with the Eagles. I'm playing with Nick Foles. We start 3-5. Michael Vick, he's our starting quarterback. Nick Foles comes in, goes 7-1. We finish the season 10-6. He sets a record, most passing touchdowns in a game with 7. He sets a record for the Eagles, most completions consecutively with 25. He has his jersey in the Pro Football Hall of Fame for that Raiders game. 2017. Nick Foles comes in relief of Carson Wentz, has one of the most historical runs to lead his team in a Super Bowl we have ever seen in the history of the NFL, particularly from a backup quarterback. 2020, goes in relief of Mitch Trubisky against the Atlanta Falcons. Trubisky, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Foles comes in, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. They win the game. Nick Foles is incredible in relief. But for whatever reason, as a starter, things are not as good as they are when he comes in relief. So, Marcellus, how in the world would you have buyer's remorse to keep a guy, Nick Foles, as a starter who's proven he is incredible in relief, but not the same as a starter? The Eagles don't have any buyer's remorse. Carson Wentz has been a good quarterback, hasn't necessarily been to the top 2 height, but Carson Wentz has been a very good quarterback.
Oh, man, boy, you can tell you love both them dudes and the city of Philadelphia and the Eagles uniform you used to wear. Boy, do your job, okay? Let that go, big dog. I talk bad and good about my teams. Depends on what the question is. Let me talk about this one. The answer to this is, yes, they have buyer's remorse, but to be clear, they kept the right quarterback, in part, largely, because he's 4 years younger. So you got to go with the youth on your side. However, can you still have buyer's remorse? Hell yeah. Talk about this. People out there who are searching for a house. You got a townhouse, so you had to do this. Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that. Then you look at the realtor. How much? And they say, you say, what? Immediately that reaction is like,
I did that.
You did that, right? Either it's a what? Like, oh, I'm taking it. Or it's like, what? How much? When you look at this situation of Carson Wentz and the way he's performed and played, you're looking at him like, what? He costs how much? $32.5 million? He's making the third highest amount of dough this year of all NFL players. When we talk about a quarterback since that contract, this is sad, bro. Since he got paid, he's 28th in passing yards attempt, 24th in passer rating, and 28th in completion percentage. Since he got paid. Now let's talk about who he is right now. Oh, he's just a quarterback that's under 500. He's just a quarterback that is second to last in completion percentage and second to last in quarterback rating. So once again, you can say, ooh, that house is nice. Ooh, Carson Wentz is young. He is good. How much? That's where the Eagles are right now. Buyer's remorse, bro.
So I don't get it. I don't get it.
You get it.
You are an optimist, an eternal optimist. You see a half-full glass. Not only is half full, you see it as full, and you just think like, oh, the cup got extra space. Like, that is how you see life.
A little bit.
But when it comes to Carson Wentz, you're a pessimist. You're a biased pessimist. When it comes to Carson Wentz, oh, he has a losing record. Not he's currently leading the division and would get a 4 seed in the playoffs out of 7. When it comes to Carson Wentz, you're just such a pessimist, and I don't get it. I detest it. Now, obviously, we've kind of agreed that Carson Wentz was a better choice over Nick Foles, so I got to talk to the man, Marcellus Wiley.
Yes, sir.
What do you think Carson Wentz could have done differently with what he currently has? What quarterbacks in your mind do you think, with this roster that Carson Wentz has, would be doing significantly more.
Hey, when you get paid $32.5 million, that's not for me to answer. It's not for the GM to answer. It's not for anybody in that organization to answer except the guy who's receiving $32.5 million. I was once the highest paid on a team before. Crazy enough. I wasn't the best player, but I was the highest paid. Timing works. So here's the thing. When you're the highest paid, they don't want to hear anything. Boy, I had a surgery after a surgery to another surgery. I had issues and injuries all around. And you know why? Because of that price tag. Big dog. When I used to go out there and I was in them streets like you are right now, super single as I was, I throw on 5, 10, 50 chains. And if nobody was checking for me, I'm like, why the hell I got all this on? Guess what? Why am I paying you all this money if we ain't checking for you? You know why they're not checking for him?
Why?
Who did they draft this year? Jalen Hurts. They already trying to say, look, Carson Wentz, you don't know this, big dog. I don't know if you know, but you're on notice. Your numbers don't support how much we're paying you. This guy is 17-1 as a starter since that magical 2017 year. If you don't know math, that means you're under 500. Slightly, but you're under 500. Yeah. That one guy, yeah. You're not even
a gonna get you. You're right.
You're not a 500 quarterback since you were the man, and you're certainly not a 500 quarterback since we paid you. Carson Wentz, make it add up. Make it make sense.
Here's what doesn't add up.
Okay.
Just by paying Carson Wentz, you are not absolved of your duties and responsibilities on the team.
Great point. Great point.
You keep saying, well, they paid Carson Wentz. It's all on Wentz. Just because you paid Wentz doesn't mean Howie Roseman, the general manager, is absolved of building a roster.
Truth.
Just because he paid Carson Wentz doesn't mean Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Jalen Reagor, Dallas Goedert, they're absolved of being able to stay healthy. Just because you pay Carson Wentz doesn't mean he is your magical cure-all for every other ailment and every other illness. You can go to the doctor's office and treat one thing, but just because you treat that one thing doesn't mean everything else going to be healthy. So last offseason, I had to go get a PRP shot. I call them all season because when you're in the league, PRP.
What's that?
Plasma.
You went to Germany?
Okay, chill out.
You got your blood spinning.
I had to pay like $500 to do something because my knee was hurting. Just because I fixed my knee didn't mean I was going to fix that creak in my neck. And that's what you're acting like. The Eagles paid Carson Wentz, so it's Carson Wentz's job to cover up the multitude of sins everywhere else. That's not the case.
Oh, that was strong. Now, that was a good pushback. I feel it right here. Woo! Now I got to push back again because guess what? I didn't grow up with any brothers, so I'm loving every moment we can get up here and talk some talk. Last year, I saw a fifth-year quarterback. I'm going to leave his name out of it, some more trivia fun. He led the NFL in interceptions. He led the NFL in giveaways and was one off the lead in sacks given, 47. Wonder where that quarterback is right now. Is he first string start? No. Is he second string? No.
People are begging for him to take over the starting.
Begging. Well, he's third string at the Harvard of quarterback schools, as he says. He's in New Orleans. His name is Jameis Winston. And it's amazing that people going to have their issues with Jameis Winston, but not their same issues with Carson Wentz, when Jameis Winston never got an extension nor anything near $32.5 million to be the man. So when I look at this, Carson Wentz is on pace to have 64 sacks this season. Only one quarterback's ever been sacked that many times, David Carr. You know what he's doing? What we're doing for a living. Can I finish with this? Please help me this. I want to ask you a question because I want to take your bias and strip it down and get to you, the man, as you said, Emmanuel Acho. His decision-making and accuracy is so suspect, I don't see him getting better anytime soon. Please answer this to me. What? You've seen him play bad for so long. Do you think he's going to really turn the corner and live up to this contract?
What I do think is this. I think that he will continue to have very bad games. But I think that his great games will offset how bad his games are. What do I mean by that? I'm not gonna, don't take this literally. Brett Favre. Brett Favre has some terrible games.
Okay.
Brett Favre has some terrible seasons.
Yeah.
He still made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Because as bad as he was, he made the Pro Bowl when he had a 21 interception season because he threw for 34 touchdowns as well. I do think that Carson Wentz is who he is as far as his bad. The problem I have with you, the problem I have with other fans is they don't acknowledge the good. Does Carson Wentz have 12 interceptions this year, lead the league? Yes. At least prior to this past weekend.
Okay.
But does he also have 17 touchdowns? Top 10 in touchdowns.
Okay.
Yes.
That's your point.
Like, let's look at both sides.
Okay.
If Carson Wentz finishes with 34 touchdowns and 20-some-odd interceptions, but the Eagles make the playoffs, can you really be all that upset? I don't know, not if they hosting a playoff game.
All I know is when you get that money, when you make the most, they expect the most. And right now, they do not. Even if you don't give us the most, you don't give us top 5, you don't give us top 10, you don't even give us top half of the league. You give us 30 seconds. When someone blindly, as you always say, someone comes from another planet and lands on Earth, excuse me, Earthlings, who's your best quarterback? And then who's your worst? Carson Wentz shouldn't be right next to that guy in terms of passer rating.
Come on, bro. You asked me a question. It's time for me to ask you a question.
All right.
What
coming up?
What quarterbacks do you think would be doing more than Carson Wentz has been doing? And based on what data do you have to back up your point?
Yeah, there's only a few. I'm not going to go to that Frankenstein and put them in that situation. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, we know the names. The thing about it is, it's not even that conversation. It's the fact that this is your reality and you're getting paid this much. So guess what? Either you make this reality look different, closer to what your ability is, or you're going to have to get paid closer to what this reality is. You can't have it both ways if you're Carson Wentz. Come on, big dog.